What's going on, everybody? Tyler Kenyon here with California Bass and Guide Service. Today we're out here on Lake Berryessa. We're going to be bringing you guys a fishing report, lake update, and a little update on the golden mussel situation up here. So thanks for clicking on the video, and let's get into it. Alright guys, so like I said, we're out here on Lake Berryessa today. Today is Friday, January 10th. As far as the lake conditions go, the water temperature, when I got out here in the morning, the lowest I seen was 52 degrees and the highest I've seen is 56 degrees. The water clarity, we've had a lot of wind up here lately, so it is muddying up a little bit. I would say the average clarity is probably between 6 to 8 feet deep. Up on the north end, it's a little bit dirtier. Down by the dam, it's a hair cleaner, but not a whole lot. As far as the fishing goes, it's pretty slow, pretty tough out here right now, at least with these current conditions, with the post-frontal wind blown, you know, the water just kind of muddied up. The weather's just been bouncing around. It's got these fish real finicky. As far as the bites that I've been able to get, which is not many, I mean, looking at 5 to 10 bites a day. Doing most of the damage on just the football jig. So this is the 3/4 ounce football jig by Dirty Jigs. This is like a green pumpkin watermelon color. And then on the back, just using a green pumpkin black flake Yamamoto twin tail grub right there. So that's that jig. I do like the 3/4 ounce, not only this time of year. I mean, I throw a 3/4 ounce football jig all year long, but you know, we're dealing with a little bit of wind, helps keep bottom contact, and you might get snagged a little bit more when you're fishing the rocks, but you know, in my opinion, it's worth it. And how many times have you gotten snagged up, shaking it free, trying to shake it free, and one comes up, picks it up off the rock, and then you end up catching the biggest fish of the day? So I don't really get too discouraged when I snag on the jigs. I just think of it as reassurance that I know I'm down the bottom, getting, you know, bumping off all the rocks, bumping off the cover. And also, if you do get snagged, sometimes you end up getting lucky and catching a nice one on it. Now, when you do throw the 3/4 ounce, if you're shallower than about 15 feet, you just want to be real slow when you're working it. Just, you know, if you try to yank on it too much, it's just going to wedge right into those rocks and get stuck. So if you just work it real slow, slowly bring that rod up. If you start feeling it get hung a little bit, just shake it a little bit and it should pop right over. 90% of the time it pops right over that rock, and then you can keep on fishing. One of the big things though with fishing the jig is retying. You're going to want to retie every 15-20 casts. If you're in the like big chunk rock, jagged rock, you're going to want to retie quite a bit. Let's see. The other bait I've caught them on decent the last couple days is a blade bait. This one right here is the V-Rod half ounce blade bait. Just kind of experimenting with that. today. Caught a couple fish on it. Not my favorite. It seems to get fouled up a lot on that back hook, no matter what position you put the snap in. So I might play around with that a little bit more, but right now it's not seeming to be my favorite. The one that I've been doing really good on, and it's a tried and true, is that Demiki Vault in the 3/4 ounce, throwing it in a chrome with black back. It seems to be working good. Just throwing it out there. I've been finding the sweet spot to be about 30 feet of water, letting it sink, and then just lifting that rod tip up, feel that bait come up, vibrate 3, 4, 5 times, and then just drop it back to the bottom. Just lifting it up, drop it back to the bottom, all the way back to the boat. And a lot of times you just lift it up, drop it, you go to lift it up again, and it's just got weight. You got one on there. The fish I've been catching have been eating bait that's real tiny, so you want to keep that in, take that into consideration when you're picking out your lure size. I mean, you want to match the forge. Like I said, all the bait I've seen is really, really tiny, maybe 2 inches tops. As far as where the fish are positioning at, I've found most of them on points, and mainly the points with rock on them I've been doing the best. I've caught a couple fish on bluff walls with rocks, like up in the creek arms, but for the most part it's been just finding rocks on points. And if you could find the points that have a really, really steep drop off on one side, almost like a bluff drop off on one side, those seem to be more consistent to get bit on points like that. I think those fish just have easy access to deep water. They could move up on the point, feed, and then drop right back down when they're done. So as far as the golden mussel situation out here, if you guys are looking to get out here, there's 2 ways that you can go about it. The first one is a 30-day quarantine. So you're going to drive your boat up. I know they're doing it at Markley Cove, and I believe they're doing it at Pleasure Cove as well. I'll have to double check that. But you come up, they do a thorough inspection of your boat, you make sure it's clean and dry, and then they ban the boat. They banned it, I believe they banned it around the trailer and the boat, so they could tell, if it's broke. If you launch the boat, the band breaks, and then they could tell if you've launched somewhere else. And then you have to wait 30 days after it's banded before you can enter the lake. The quicker way, and in my opinion the best way to do it, is the hot water wash, the decontamination station that they have up there. Again, they have one at Markley, and they have one, I believe, at Pleasure Cove. There's a website for scheduling on there. I'll put it on the screen, and I'll put a link down below in the description. You just go on that, you go to that website, you click on Lake Berryessa golden mussels, and then it has a whole schedule for getting your boat hot water washed. I believe it's $100 deposit to get the boat washed. In case you no-show, then they charge you that $100. But it's a really quick process. I had mine done today, actually. I was a little reluctant on doing the hot water wash just because I wasn't entirely sure what that entailed. But all they did was they hooked, they filled a tub up with hot water, drop your motor in, run the motor for a couple minutes, just kind of flush it out with hot water. They sprayed hot water in your live wells, let them drain out, and then they just hold the pressure washer up to the plug in the bottom of the boat and just kind of wash the bilge out. And that's it. Took maybe, so my appointment was scheduled for 8:30, and I was on the water headed down the lake by 9:15. So it only took about 30 minutes to do the water wash, the paperwork, and launch the boat. And then by the time I got launched and was out, it was only 45 minutes, and I was good to go. I'm not sure how early the appointments start. The earliest I've seen was 8:30. So if you do want to come out, and maybe you have 2 days in a row off, you could come up in the evening, schedule an appointment, get the water wash, get your boat banded, and then that way you can come out first thing in the morning the following day. As far as that goes, like I said, I have my boat up here. I will be guiding out here if anybody wants to come take a trip. It is kind of slow, but catching a lot of solid fish. We can also do in the like technique specific trips if you want to work on throwing blade baits and spoons, if you want to work on throwing jigs, crankbaits, you know, we can get a hold of me and do that and get you out here. So I'll leave my email, my phone number down below, as well as a link to my website if you want to go check that out. And I'm going to be trying to get some more videos out. I know it's been a little while. It's just been kind of weird with this one with the golden mussel thing, kind of messing everything around. And then also I've been out duck hunting quite a bit. So from now on, I'll be more consistent on the videos, and I'll be fishing every week. So yeah, if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe, like the video, it helps us out. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.